and hit the spot.
Since I'll come back with another video, I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. Today we are going to find out what is the best Stanley Kubrick movie in our Stanley Kubrick bracket.
If you don't know how we do our brackets, two movies pop up on the screen. We decide which one moves on to the next round and which one gets eliminated. If we disagree, we play rock, paper, scissors to decide. However, if only one of us has actually seen both of the movies, then that person gets to decide on their own. First up, we have The Shining versus Fear and Desire.
Light work.
Yeah, The Shining is incredible.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
I don't even need to tell you that I haven't seen Fear and Desire. I already know the answer to this one. Have you seen Fear and Desire?
No.
Oh, well then, it really was an easy one. Eyes Wide Shut versus Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
So, I have a weird relationship with Dr. Strangelove, strangely enough, because individually, some of the scenes make me laugh, but when I watch them in the context of the film,
yeah,
they're not funny, and most of that movie goes over my head. And Eyes Wide Shut has boobies in it, so I'm picking the one that shows boobies.
Wow. Some diddy. Some diddy. Everybody says no diddy. That's
Probably,
some. Yeah. That's some diddy.
Yeah. No baby oil, but
yeah.
some diddy still.
I feel like your tune changed on Doctor Strangelove because you really wanted me to watch this movie, and I remember you being really high on it, and you let me watch it, and I was not. Like, it's not that I didn't get it. I think it was just like...
It was more so, I thought you would like it.
Yeah, I watched...
You would have explained it to me. You would have dumbed it down for me.
Yeah, well, war is bad.
Yeah, I got that,
yeah,
but I don't understand why it's so like...
And politicians are idiots, and they care more about their egos and what decisions they get to make versus what decisions are best for the world.
But people are like, this is one of the funniest movies of all time, and I love dry humor.
Yeah.
But it's not there for me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only thing that was as funny to me, and maybe Watch Mojo and like YouTube ruined it for me, because probably like you, I had seen all of like the scenes before I watched the movie. Even in the context of the movie, the Nazi scientist in the wheelchair having to hold his arm down is still, like, that made me laugh regardless. See, this is tough for me. I'm not big on either of these movies. I like that Dr. Strangelove has something to say that I agree with, even though at this point there is almost no end to the amount of media that is only trying to tell you war is bad and there's no other real point to it. It's like, bro, we get it. If we could have stopped people from having wars by now, we would have done it. They have too much power. You're not going to do it. Just, you can be mad at me for, I'm not telling you to turn a blind eye. You can be mad about it, but just live your freaking life. Okay. Like, that's the world you live in. And Eyes Wide Shut, I feel like doesn't have much of a point other than like, hey, rich people have kinky sex clubs, which, like, now we really know. So I'm going to go with Dr. Strangelove, but I don't care that much. So be it.
After all that pounding, it feels right that Eyes Wide Shut won.
No, fair enough. 2001: A Space Odyssey versus Paths of Glory.
2001: A Space Odyssey for me. The beauty of it, the amount of times you have to watch it and get something new out of it. That's always a special thing when it comes to movies, you know? Because there's so much in that film.
What new do you get out of 2001: A Space Odyssey every time you watch it?
Well, just like the technique.
What did you... Okay.
Like how talented that man is.
So not from the story, just like
just how
from
talented
a filmmaker's perspective.
That man is at making cinema.
Yeah.
Art. Is like you notice something new in the background that like adds so much detail, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Or Paths of Glory is a great war movie, but it's the age is an issue, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's good, it's meaningful, but Kirk Douglas, great actor. He wouldn't have been in so many damn movies if he wasn't. But
Sure.
what has lived on in the iconic of cinema as well, 2001.
Yeah, so I want to lie so bad and say that I've seen Paths of Glory just so I can pick it, because I think 2001: A Space Odyssey is one of the most overrated movies that has ever existed. It is gorgeous. Like, absolutely beautiful. And I will never argue that. But it is like it is just a moving Mona Lisa. There's no point to this movie. Well, AI is bad. Guess what? We all know. And, like, we knew it then. It's never been a secret. Like, and guess what? It still hasn't taken over the world. So,
that might be my favorite thing you've ever said. It's a moving Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. You come up with that?
I did. Just, like, off the dome. Right there.
Pretty good.
Yeah, really, you could probably just say it's like a moving Van Gogh, period. But
Mona Lisa's quick, straight to the point. Sounds better.
yeah, no, and you get some alliteration with the movie and the Mona, and you also are just thinking about the fact that I said Mona.
I do.
But anyways, I've only seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, so I have to pick it. But I cannot wait to rock, paper, scissors against it later, probably. The Shining versus Eyes Wide Shut.
Shining.
Yeah, incredible movie. Gosh, it's so good. Eyes Wide Shut is like, it's interesting.
It is very
like,
interesting.
It's like taboo, so it like gets your interest or whatever, right? It's fine. And The Shining versus 2001: A Space Odyssey.
The Shining.
Oh, thank God.
Dude, just so like that movie, entertainment wise,
Yeah,
has way more entertainment. The acting is more iconic, more special, more engulfing. Like, I've seen Jack Nicholson 1,000 times. I've never seen Jack Nicholson like that.
Mm-hmm.
All the acting in that movie is phenomenal, and the set design is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. So I think one of my favorite things about The Shining is I've seen it 3 times now, but I've seen The Shining twice. The first time I watched it, I was in high school, and it was like after it was basically a triple date. We all went back to someone's house and we were all watching The Shining. And so it was like
Watched.
yeah,
Shining.
well, and they're really, I mean,
Had a rich Eyes Wide Shut orgy.
no. And also we were kids, so a lot of Diddy. But like I watched the movie and I was entertained by it. I was like scared by it, but I didn't have like I was not like artistically or emotionally mature enough to really understand a lot of what's going on in this movie. And then so when I saw it again with you when they put it back in a theater, it was like this incredible experience of like, I remember so much of this. And also it is like almost a marker of growth because I remember so much of it and I did not get it at all. Right. Yeah, it's like a perfectly shot movie. It is never more terrifying than it needs to be. And it is also just a movie that like you can endlessly dissect, and like it currently is and will continuously be dissected by people who like movies, by people who are in film school. It's like, and I mean the same's true of A Space Odyssey, but The Shining is like, it's The Shining, you know. A Clockwork Orange versus Barry Lyndon.
Light work, Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, again, I really wish that I had the immoral fortitude to tell you that I've seen Barry Lyndon just so I could vote against A Clockwork Orange, but I can't. So, Lolita versus Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
So,
I'm Spartacus.
What a great tagline. How did they ever make a movie of Lolita?
Yeah,
Because the movie is about pedophilia.
that's right.
And it's interesting. It's an interesting watch just for that. And to see what Stanley Kubrick, how he manipulates the audience. And how uncomfortable and weird he makes you feel while watching that movie.
Mm.
But Spartacus is art. It's iconic.
Yeah.
It has those scenes that stand out that lasted a lifetime in cinema. And it's something you can actually rewatch. It's not like something you watch just to like let me see what this like mastermind of cinema can do with this subject.
Yeah.
Which I respect Lolita for that. Like, bro, you better or worse, you swung for the fences.
Yeah, he sure did.
And like it or not, you made a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting, it's complex, it's going to hold your attention, it's going to make you feel. And that's what kind of the point of a movie is.
Yeah.
When you're making it for the artistic reasons.
Yeah.
It challenges. Like, a movie that challenges, because obviously whenever you have a film from the perspective of a protagonist, like, you're going to lean with them, and that's the pedophile, so you're kind of like, oh, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then you're like kind of sympathizing with him, and it's like, no, never mind.
Yeah, and Stanley Kubrick's just off in the corner going, haha, I made you sympathize with a pedophile, you fuck. Yeah. Which, knowing him, was probably, exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But
he's a sick genius fuck.
Right. Okay, so despite how much you clearly love Lolita, you're picking Spartacus?
Yes, I respect Lolita. I didn't say I love Lolita.
Yeah, well, I've never seen it, but I have seen Spartacus. So you're doing a really good job of leaning towards the movies that I've seen today.
This is why we skipped Spike Lee.
Full Metal Jacket versus The Killing.
You love bank robbery movies. I think you will like The Killing if you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it, but
Full Metal Jacket moves on by itself just because of the one scene of Sergeant Gunnery Harmon. Fuck.
Yeah, I forget. I used to know it.
Yeah, I used to too.
Yeah.
When he's just running down, trashing everybody.
Killing
John Wayne, is that
Killing
you?
it, yeah.
Is this me?
Yeah. There are so many people that probably say that they've seen Full Metal Jacket when they have really just watched that scene on YouTube like 50 times.
The first time I watched it, and it happened like Sergeant Gunnery Hartman dies in like the first 30 minutes, you're like, this is the shortest movie I've ever seen in my life. And then you get the iconic, me so horny, me love you long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, the movie just keeps going. And it's really two movies in one.
Yeah.
It's like a season of television almost. Two seasons of television put together. I own The Killing on Criterion, so if you would like to watch it, it's a good bank robbery movie. I think you would dig it. But Full Metal Jacket's Full Metal Jacket, and it's one of his big five, like...
Yeah.
You think of Stanley Kubrick, you think of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, and it's like the third movie on this list where he has tried to tell us that war is bad. But this one does it from a different perspective. Well, I mean, maybe not as... I've never seen... what was the name of that movie?
Glory.
I've never seen that movie. I imagine it probably touched on some similar themes. But Dr. Strangelove is like... War is bad because of the, massive industrial complex, and people make money off of it, and it's more about egos than blah 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 and all that stuff. Full Metal Jacket is war is bad because look at the psychological damage that even basic training can have on young people. So it has something to say. I dig it.
And I only know history through movies, and that was really kind of the first movie to be like, hey, this war shit. Like, Vietnam's the first war to say, hey, this war shit's no good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot different when... Oh, Lord. There we go. Yeah, war's a lot different when all of a sudden you can't find a reason for fighting,
Yeah. Because you get Born on the 4th of July and all these other films that are like, Vietnam was a shit war, we shouldn't have gone this, that, and the third.
Yeah, basically.
And that, World War II, those veterans... I grew up and was still around those guys, and they were proud.
Yeah. What, Vietnam guys?
No, World War II guys.
Oh, yeah, right.
Old geezers.
Right. Well, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But the Vietnam guys were just kind of like...
I hate everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan style.
Yeah, I just finished watching Band of Brothers again, which, it's obviously a TV show. It's dramatized. It is... intentionally manipulating the audience to make you feel and think certain ways about certain stuff. But the fact is undeniable. It was not that hard for soldiers in World War II to go over there and see very quickly why we were fighting this war. I mean, but Vietnam is just you're in a freaking jungle somewhere. there are no real rules of war. These motherfuckers are fucking popping around trees and planting mines and sending up little kids to you with bombs. Like, what an awful, awful thing. Not that any war isn't, but like that took it to another level. Anyways, Stanley Kubrick hates Vietnam,
Hates
the
war.
and it's understandable. Next up, we have Clockwork Orange versus Spartacus.
Clockwork Orange. I love Stanley Kubrick's style where he takes fucked up situations, scenes, characters, and puts in a good message and puts all that other fucked up shit on top of it to hide the message so it's not corny and cheesy like Christian rap music. So Clockwork Orange gets the dub for me.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of feelings about Clockwork Orange. But the bottom line is it's a better movie than Spartacus. So it's definitely less boring. Spartacus is kind of boring. Full Metal Jacket versus A Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to be objective. Okay, here's the thing with Clockwork Orange. It's a really well shot movie. And I think people, and I'm not necessarily saying you, but maybe. Clockwork Orange is like what a lot of people try to make, or let me rephrase that. People who are really into A Clockwork Orange are actually what a lot of people try to make people who like Fight Club out to be. In that, like, it takes a special kind of person to like this movie. Some people like it for the right reasons, in that it's a really good piece of cinema in terms of how it is shot. This world that he adapted this screenplay from is incredibly interesting and unique in so many different ways. And there is, in fact, a message, and the message is this person is awful. Right? And this is what our society can devolve into if we don't take specific measures to blah, 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 blah. Okay. But then there are also people who just really love Alex DeLarge. And why? Like, he's awful. He's terrible. He's not standing up against anything. He's literally just a rapist and a murderer. Like,
swag.
That's it. But that's the thing, is that because he has swag, people are like, oh, this dude's awesome.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Like, but anyways, it is a better movie than Full Metal Jacket, so sure. But I will fight you to the death if you pick it over The Shining. So,
and I am picking it over The Shining.
You think A Clockwork Orange is better than The Shining?
Yes.
You're nuts.
I love Clockwork Orange, top to bottom, the message. If I could live in one person's room from a movie, it would be his movie. He has a sick-ass room.
You don't want your DNA anywhere near that room.
Probably right. You can take the snake out for sure, though.
There would be a lot of Diddy in that room.
But again, Clockwork Orange.
Alex DeLarge probably has more bottles of baby oil than Diddy.
I doubt that. It's a post-apocalyptic-esque,
okay,
post-dystopian future
then
movie,
like
so.
Milk oil or something weird that they have an equivalent of baby oil.
All right, let's just get it over with. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Thank God. God. Ugh. Out of all the ones to win. This movie is incredible. I don't understand that at all.
Well, it's 1 and 2 for me.
But you got them backwards.
I am dyslexic. There you have it. The Shining is cinematopical, collaborated, picked to be Stanley Kubrick's best movie of all time. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts and opinions. Where did we go wrong? Where did we go right? You agree, disagree, all that in the comment section below. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe.